heritage, our tradition, our future. Today, we become.
In this episode of Mutual and Federal Premier Interschools Rugby, we look ahead to this Saturday's derby between rivals Paarl Boys High and Grey College, live on SuperSport. Saturday the 21st of May will produce perhaps the biggest schoolboy rugby match of the year as Paarl Boys High take on Grey College from Bloemfontein. Both sides are perennial achievers, with Grey often finishing atop the school rankings. However, 2015 saw Boys High take the #1 spot, making the 2016 encounter a real clash of the titans.
Grey College started playing Paarl Boys High for the first time in 1950, and they've played 21 times since 1950 up to 1995. After that, we've played them annually, and it's a very special rivalry. It's a very special occasion for both schools.
Really, it's a great challenge. Obviously, a great honour to be able to play against Grey Bloem, and we've learnt a lot throughout the years. Initially, when we decided with this whole fixture where all our teams would go up there and they would come to visit us, we really didn't do that well, especially with our lower sides. And now the things have evened out. We've learnt a lot from them, and the challenge is more of a 50-50 effort from our various sports.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger derbies that we have throughout the year. Grey College showed their class throughout the year. A quality side with a good balance of quality forwards, fast backs, and yeah, it's going to be a massive game as always.
Grey Boys High game is altyd 'n harde game. Ons weet al ons Boys High span is ook goed. Ons sal moet speel om hulle te wen, want hulle is nie 'n slegte span nie, is 'n kwaliteitsspan en is goed afgerig. So dit gaan 'n groot game wees.
Grey College is synonymous with Springbok rugby, with the Bloemfontein school having produced in excess of 40 players donning the famous green and gold jersey.
Grey College is a high-performing school, and it is important that every boy really throws his weight into whichever activity he's taking part in. There's a winning culture at the school, and we set very high standards, and that is really what makes the school a very special place to be.
One of Grey's many famous sons, the late Jaco Reinach, is the last person ever to achieve dual Springbok colours for rugby and athletics. Reinach excelled on both the athletics track and on the rugby field at Grey, representing its famous first 15, as well as the SA Schools team in 1979 and 1980.
As a person, I would say Jaco is unique, or actually like his athletics coach, Henny Pretorius, used to say, he can sum up Jaco in one word: guts.
Maar ek dink by Jaco is elke oomblik wat jy saam met hom was 'n groot oomblik, want jy het eintlik nooit geweet wat hy gaan doen nie. So dit was werklik magic geweest saam met hom. Jy was altyd gesurprised geweest as jy dit saam met hom enige sport gedoen het.
The speedy winger continued to excel after school, setting the national 400-metre record in Bloemfontein in 1983, a record that would stand until 2011.
The hostels had special permissions for a late supper, so that all of them can go and attend this race. And as the Empire put them off, you would hear all the Grey boys chanting, "Go Jaco, go! Go Jaco, go!" And when Jaco came to hand over his athletics t-shirt or vest, he told the boys for the first time that was carrying him through, especially the last 100 meters where the guts and glory needs to take you through to the winning line. That "Go Jaco, go" was carrying him through.
Reinach's time of 45.01 seconds was eclipsed by a fellow Old Grey, LJ van Zyl, in 2011. And the current record holder of the South African 400-metre race is another Old Grey, Wade van Niekerk. The 2016 Rio Olympic hopeful set the record of 43.48 seconds at the 2015 IAAF World Championships in Beijing, ensuring that this famous record stays in the Gray family.
Yeah, Wade van Niekerk is a proud old boy of the school. He's a very decent human being. He's humble, with a very strong work ethic, and we are very proud of him. And his achievements really speak for themselves on the athletic track, but also as a human being, he's a superb old boy.
Reinach's exploits were not merely left on the track. The Free State speedster made his Springbok debut against the New Zealand Cavaliers in 1986 and caught the rugby world's attention with his famous try in the third test at Loftus.
Well, is there anybody else recalling anything else than Speakery's voice going, "Hier is spoed, hier is spoed"? I had the privilege of meeting Speakery in Tute Visser's famous rugby museum, and where someone asked him about his comments on that specific try. He said when the ball came to Jaco, all he can think about was, "Hier is spoed, hier is spoed, hier is spoed." And that is what everybody remembers, is actually Speakery's comment.
Jaco Reinach sadly passed away in a motorcar accident in 1997. But the Reinach name still rings loud in rugby circles through his son Cobus Reinach. The Sharks and Springbok scrum half is too a product of Grey College.
Cobus Reinach is an old boy. I did coach him at Grey under 16. A very nice guy, a bit naughty but a lot of character. One of the scrum halves that I was impressed with cleaning out the ruck. And yeah, where he is today is all about hard work. That's what I can tell you about Cobus Reinach. He's a guy that never says no to extra training or hard work, and I think that's why he's doing so well at the Sharks, and that's why he became a Springbok.
Cobus is certainly a chip of the old block, the late Jaco Reinach, who was his father. Cobus also has a very strong work ethic, a very talented rugby player. Interestingly enough, he played for the 7th team in grade 11 and ended up playing for the 1st team in grade 12. But a very talented boy, as was his late father, Jaco Reinach.
I definitely did think about my dad when I was going to make my Springbok debut. I mean, it was at Newlands, and that's where he made his debut as well. So it is very special and very emotional.
Like his father, Cobus Reinach is renowned for his blistering speed and has already scored 2 tries in his 10 tests to date.
Verseker, ek kan vir Jaco Reinach en Cobus sien absoluut. The walk, the talk en daai cocky guy, dit is definitief Jaco Reinach daai.
People do compare us a lot. I mean, 90% of the time when someone calls me, they call me by the name Jaco, not Cobus. So I think that says a lot from the start. And then I've heard a lot of comments about when we score a try that the way we walk back is we walk a certain way on our toes type thing. So people do compare us a lot, and it's always great to hear the stories that come out. Always keen to listen to them.
Playing alongside Jaco Reinach in the Cavaliers Test Series of 1986 was the Prince of Wings, Paarl du Plessis. The Paarl Boys High old boy and Springbok legend is the father of Stormers fly half Jean-Luc du Plessis. Jean-Luc is a junior Springbok and the 2012 Boys High fly half, who is currently setting the Super Rugby scene alight with the Cape franchise.
Carl was, he played first side for when I arrived here in 1978. And I could just experience him from a distance, a very talented player, very mercurial in his approach to the game.
I had the privilege of working with Jean-Luc at the Sharks. Before I was here at Paarl Boys. He's a special player. He's got a great temperament for the game, and I think every team wants that type of player in their team, you know, that when it really gets tough, he's sort of the guy that stands up and says, you know, give me the ball, you know, he's a great player.
It was wonderful that his son, well, both his sons are at school here now. Jean-Luc having finished him 2 years ago, and now his younger son, Reese, also playing in the A side for the under-15 A side at the moment.
Grey and Boys High have been playing one another since 1950, with Grey enjoying the majority of the wins. However, since the fixture became a Premier Interschools encounter in 2012, the scores are even at 2 apiece, thanks to Boys High's historic win in Bloemfontein last year.
To beat Grey there is really absolutely wonderful achievement, and I think that was a fitting end or start to our season last year, where we actually ended up as being the #1 rugby playing school in the country.
Baie min skole kan sê dat hulle sommer oprei Bloemfontein toe om daar te gaan wen, so dit was iets besonders, maar ons besef ook dat dit nou verlede jaar se aksie is. Die jaar is nou weer 'n jaar op sy eie.
Boys High have once again been in superb touch in 2016, beating the likes of Uffies and Waterkloof.
Yeah, you know, it's been a slower start to what it was last year. You know, a lot of our boys are involved with summer sports, trying to maintain that balance. So we've had a slower start, but I've been happy with the way that the boys have sort of come through, taken responsibility when it counted the most.
I think the team is in a good space right now, but we still have a lot of things to work on. But yeah, hopefully we can have a successful season this year.
Grade 2 have impressed in 2016 with wins over Maritzburg College, Oakdale and Uffies amongst others.
And they get it over. Try number 4, and it's that man.
Saturday the 21st of May 2016 will be arguably the biggest day of the schoolboy rugby season as the country's top teams, Paarl Boys High and Grey College, meet at Brug Street in Paarl.
Yeah, what you can expect on the day between Grey and Boys High would be a big game. I think it would be one of the top clashes of schoolboy rugby in the country in 2016, and it would be an exciting game. Every boy and every player on the day is going to perform for his school to make his school proud.
Yeah, definitely. You know, every game is tough, but Grey is special. You know, it sort of brings out the best in everybody when you play against Grey College, and they're an amazing outfit.
Ja, enige interskole wedstryd is altyd 'n groot is 'n groot wedstryd. En hierdie een gaan definitief nie anders te wees nie.
It's going to be an incredibly close game. It's going to be the same type of game in the sense that two very, very good sides. They defend well, they attack well, both their set pieces are good, and it's just going to be, on the day, is going to be that team that takes its chances the best.
Today, we stand for all that is, for our heritage, our tradition, our future. Today, we become.
Watch Paarl Boys High versus Grey College in Mutual and Federal Premier Interschools Rugby this Saturday, live on SuperSport.